everybody, so glad you're with us. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and we welcome you to the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles, California for tonight's main event. 12 rounds of heavyweight action between these two great warriors. He's making his way to the ring now, and he looks very focused for this fight. And Mr. Showtime's making that final walk that separates man and warrior, soon to be in battle there in the ring.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, the greatest. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, Mr. Showtime.
Okay, guys, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Let's touch gloves.
Well, they've been waiting for this moment, and now they get it. Round one underway.
During your training career, is this the type of matchup that you liked when you had a power puncher facing another power puncher?
No, I hated it. I never wanted to fight a big banger. I wanted to be the only guy in that ring that brought that to the party.
That just missed. Off to the side, a little swing and a miss going upstairs. Oh, that's good stuff. Firing right back with one of his own. Good work by the greatest. Accuracy an issue there. Didn't land that straight right hand. It's as if they couldn't wait for the opening bell. Going at it right from the start, and we're still in the first round. Good stuff.
So it's like watching the Pirates of the Caribbean, and the Pacific, and the Atlantic, and the Indian Ocean. Everything.
Solid counter punch by the greatest.
Get in there,
Oh, and he comes in again, landing well. Committing up top now, he goes there again. See, the defense pays off as he gets rid of that downstairs. Well-placed counter punch by Mr. Showtime. We come to the end of the round. A round that I'm having a tough time trying to think about who won. I can only imagine what the judges are thinking about. Teddy, if there's one thing you look for in a round like that and say, okay, I'm going to give it to this guy over this guy, what is it?
Well, the first thing is, if I'm a judge, I take a little notepad and I make a little mark down blue or red corner what he did early. Because sometimes a judge has a tendency to forget what was done early and only go with what went late.
Whenever he misses coming, you gotta give me the double jab. You're not giving me the double jab.
Here we go. Round two is underway. Oh, he just misses with that headshot. Good-looking counter punch. Not hitting his mark there going upstairs. It's been a recent trend, Teddy, where we've seen in the heavyweight division a lot of Eastern Europeans dominating. Why do you think that is?
Same thing in basketball. I don't think they're the better athletes, but you know what? There's an urgency. There's a real hunger. This is their opportunity. The fighters over here, and the basketball players for that part, they have too many options here. Over there, they make the most of it, and fundamentally, they're very sound.
Halfway through round number 2. Unable to land that shot. Nice block by the greatest. Accurate counter punch by the greatest. Tried to land that upstairs and was off the mark. Very clean offense from defense by the greatest. And a big right hand by the greatest. This round comes to an end here. Joe Tessitore sitting ringside as always with Teddy Atlas. Love coming to this fight venue. We always have a great time when we come to town, with the exception of having to pay the bill for our entire crew on the night before when they take us out to a steak dinner.
Yeah, you know, they remind me of fighters a little bit. You know, the fighters that we see that have every once in a while, very short arms. You know, these guys,
they don't have the reach.
No,
they can't reach for the wallet.
No, they don't. And I tell you, they would be great on the inside. Really great. I wish I could put them on the inside in the kitchen where I didn't have to take care of them at the table, but great guys.
He comes back with the left hand again. Well, we told you it could be this kind of fight, and as advertised thus far, a headshot block. Well, what do they say, Teddy? Something's got to stick. That combination was something.
Well, you know what it was? The first couple punches were throwaway punches. Set up the later punches.
And Mr. Showtime's being so very effective, punching in combination.
And that's what you want. He's got pretty good hand speed. Might as well use that hand speed. No better way to use it than putting them together.
On the mark, the counter punch by Mr. Showtime. Teddy, you talk about going out and making a few opening statements here. The jab has spoken loudly for him.
Yeah, it has spoken loudly. What it's told his opponent is you're not just going to walk in. You're not coming into my house. It's going to be hard. I got a couple locks, a couple padlocks on here.
A little defense turns to offense by the greatest. Gotta hurt. He is not in good shape. He could be on the deck in moments.
Come on now, keep busy.
Mistargeted. Oh, look at that. They exchange hooks. A little give and take, and here comes the left hand. 10 seconds to go in this third round. Another flush shot to the head. So the round comes to its conclusion, and it's a round in which our man here, as he heads back, was really tagged pretty solid. So if you're the trainer in the corner, what's your approach?
Well, you know, that's a great question. My approach is that I have to remind him that he's on common ground. He's probably going to think he's in a place where he's never been before, but I'm going to remind him, hey, remember you got hurt in the gym? And then give him something to correct the problem. You know, tell him some technical things that he needs to hear.
Body, bang, the body, hits the body.
So here we are, a new round underway, and in that last round, he got tagged. He got hit pretty hard, Teddy.
Yeah, he did. He got caught. Now, the first thing is, we all know he got caught, but why did he get caught? He has to be able to decipher that in his head. He has to be able to have the answer to that so it doesn't happen again.
Good job by drawing in his opponent and then landing the counterpunch by the greatest. He is very much being tested here, even though he's likely up on the scorecards. He's getting a real test here.
Yeah, Joe, a test that will serve him in the future. If he goes on to win this fight, which I think he will, he's going to take what he learned here today, what he gained here today, and it's going to serve him as he moves forward in his career.
Lands the counter. .90 seconds to go in round number 4. Left hook to the body, right hand, nicely done. Protecting his head well with his guard. Well done that time, landing the counter punch. And a sharp counter punch by Mr. Showtime. That was a miss by Mr. Showtime. Needs to improve that accuracy. Missed with the headshot. Able to block that away. It was targeted for his head.
Let's work on that swelling. Keep your hands up, all right? You have to keep your hands up. Keep your hands moving. Keep busy.
And we are back underway. Another round in a fight that's been very entertaining, but I wouldn't want to be a judge. This is one of those fights that could go either way. Oh, what an exchange! Good counter punch. Well, maybe one of the most impressive characteristics and traits in all of boxing. We're seeing it on display here. He has an iron chin.
Keep the head moving.
Looks like he has some blood under his eye around the cheek. This is why we love the sport, Teddy. I mean, this is just back and forth action nonstop.
Well, Joe, when special events have happened in history, you remember where you are. Right now, I'm going to remember where I was during this fight. I'm watching a special epic right in front of me.
Glad to be here doing it, too. What a war this is. He gets hit, but he gives it right back. You can see he's trying to score up top, but off the mark there. I don't know how they are keeping this up. They are setting such a scorching pace of action in this fight. So swiftly able to turn defense into offense. Nice counter punch.
And what you're noticing here is his opponent is starting to be a little wary of letting his jab go, because every time he jabs, he gets caught.
This has been a hotly contested war throughout, and you just have a sense that it's going to end at any moment in these later rounds.
Yeah, these guys are not saving anything. They're going for broke right from the beginning.
And we're going to cut it now. Nothing. Because nothing. Don't worry about it. Listen, your best defense is to throw more punches. You need to throw more punches. That will keep us away.
Another round, and if it keeps up with the rest of them, it'll be closely contested and hard to score. That's a good block by the greatest.
Teddy, is this becoming a mental thing with him? I mean, he's not firing off the big power punches. I got to wonder why.
You know, that's a good question. Sometimes a guy is making a solid agreement in his mind that maybe if I don't hit him hard, he won't hit me hard back. He's not confident enough now to throw the punches without worrying about what will come back at him.
Doing well on the outside. The greatest being very efficient right here. I mean, he's just picking his shots. His accuracy is through the roof.
Well, that's one of the talents, and you hope is a talent of a top fighter, is his ability to pick his shots, to be calm enough to see the openings. He's seeing everything right now.
This is just perfect. I mean, just what I want to see when I come to the fight. Sign me up for this kind of a brawl any day of the week.
You know, it's unbelievable. You feel like you've already witnessed an entire war, but you're reminded it's only one of the battles. We still have many more to go.
He's bleeding from the side of his face there. Working our way towards the bell. Last 10 seconds of the 6th. So we've come to the halfway point of what has been a very highly competitive bout. And Teddy, if it stays that way throughout this night, then this is going to be an all-time classic.
Don't worry about it. We'll take care of the cut. There's nothing. A small cut, nothing to worry about. Get the compress on. Get the compress on. Let's work on the swelling. Work on the swelling.
Back to action here at the start of this round, which is just part of what has been a very evenly fought fight. One of those fights that's going to be very hard to score. Showing you some defense there with the block.
In and out, in and out.
Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Lands the counter. Nothing there on the punch by Mr. Showtime. And coming upon the halfway mark of this 3-minute round. To go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other. Fine fundamentals, good counterpunch. Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
Coming towards the end of the 7th round, 10 seconds to go. Now that's some fine work right there by the greatest. This has been a very entertaining fight. A little time to reflect here at the end of this round. My thoughts being this. I would really be surprised if we go to a decision here. It just has that kind of feel to it.
Yeah, it has a feel to me like going to one of those places where you can eat all the pasta you can for one price, you know? And some guys get carried away. They eat about 5 bowls. Well, these guys, they're going to have a stomachache at the end. Somebody is going to wind up not standing at the end.
That was good. You took a lot out of that. Keep that up.
Back underway here to live fight action. Tough fight to score. Very, very even, closely contested bout throughout. Blocks that belt line well. Mistargeted. Nice work on the inside. Every gym's got one of those double-ended bags, right? They give you the movement. You got to hit that moving target, work on your accuracy. He's making it so that his opponent never had to work on one, Teddy. He's just sitting right there, right in front. No head movement whatsoever.
No, not at all. He didn't have one in his gym, that's for sure, because he just does not know how to move his head. The old timers would say he gets insulted if you miss him.
Not what he was looking for. That's a miss right there by the greatest. The greatest is in a position now where he should be able to bring home a win. If things stay the way they are, he's clearly headed towards a win.
Yeah, I have my head on my scorecard, but he has to make sure he doesn't, like in football, go into that prevent defense. If he starts just moving, just staying away a little bit, now the things that were keeping his opponent from coming in that front door, well, guess what? They're not there no more. His opponent could get back into this fight.
The twists and turns and the non-stop battle, it continues on as we've reached the 1-minute mark to go. He took a shot, but he gives one of his own. A left hand scores. Clock counting down here, round number 8. 10 seconds to go. I suppose if you're his opponent, you just keep doing what you're doing. Keep going after it. That cut is there for a reason. Why change anything?
If you're the guy who caused the cut, yeah, the first thing you think, Joe, is you keep going after it, but you don't want to get carried away either. You don't want to go head hunting to the point where maybe he makes an adjustment and you should be going downstairs to the body, but you're seeing that blood, you're seeing that red flag there, and you keep going upstairs when maybe you should be going downstairs visiting that body a little.
Get on that.
The 9th round of this good fight. Able to block that away. It was targeted for his head. His opponent wanted the body. He wouldn't give it to him. Solid counter punch by the greatest. This is great stuff. I mean, great stuff. Bringing it every which way they are.
So you remember the time you were on a vacation, you saw that perfect sunset?
Oh, yeah.
It was just beautiful. This is beautiful.
A crafty counter punch after a fine defensive effort by the greatest. There he is, landing a combo. Good return fire that time. Holy cow! A digging counter punch by the greatest. So they close out that round. Joe and Teddy with you ringside. Teddy, I know you watch very closely how these trainers go about their business. You were under the tutelage of one of the true legends of the game, the great Customato.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate, quite honestly. Those opportunities, situations probably don't exist anymore because we've lost a lot of those, you know, really great trainers and managers that boxing was their whole life. I spent 7 years with Customato, and they learned the nuts and bolts from a physical, technical point of view of what's important to give to a fighter, but the psychological part, to understand the pressures that a fighter is under, the fears that a fighter deals with. And if you don't understand that, all the other things don't mean anything, because you have to understand how a fighter's feeling to understand why he's behaving or not behaving a certain way.
Not able to connect with the uppercut. And now we got a fight. He fires back a right hand of his own. Nice block by the greatest. Doubles up the jab. Good block there by the greatest. And you see he turned defense into offense, comes back with the counter punch.
And that's exactly what he brings to the game. He makes you miss, he makes you pay, and he makes you think twice about throwing a punch later on.
He has reached that point in the fight where his only chance is to cash in and hit lotto here. He needs that grand slam, that big knockout punch, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he doesn't have a pen in his hand where he can fill out the numbers, but he does have a couple fists. And what he's going to have to do is find a specific place to aim a shot. Look for one moment, one spot.
What a good war this has been. What a good, solid fight it's been. The kind of fight that tells me somebody wants to get rid of the other guy.
It almost looks like they made a deal where neither one could win by decision, where if they didn't win by knockout, it doesn't count.
Let's work on that cut. This is done.
As another round gets underway, it gets us thinking, how much more of this will we see? Hard to envision this fight going the distance with how lopsided it's been. Good scoring counterpunch by the greatest. Good looking counterpunch. Good block there by the greatest. Well-placed counter punch by the greatest. This is why we love the sport, Teddy. I mean, this is just back and forth action nonstop.
Well, Joe, when special events have happened in history, you remember where you are. Right now, I'm going to remember where I was during this fight. I'm watching a special epic right in front of me.
Glad to be here doing it, too. What a war this is. Fine fundamentals, good counterpunch. And Mr. Showtime's got a way of just getting away from that punch. Not hitting his mark there going upstairs. Good clean shot, returning fire. Well done by the greatest. So the round comes to an end. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas sitting with you ringside. I know you had a very busy week before you flew here out to broadcast this fight, doing your charitable contributions back in Staten Island with the Dr. Theodore Atlas Foundation.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Joe. We did well. We had our dinner, our yearly dinner, where we're able to raise money to help people that are in need, people that have nowhere else to go for help, whether it's a mother that can't pay the cancer treatment for a 7-year-old daughter, and we're able to pick up that insurance. But the thing that I want to take a second to thank everybody for is that it's a collective effort. It's all the people that allow us the resources to go out there and help those people.
Able to dismiss that body shot. Turn that hook over, but couldn't turn it into a connect. A miss by Mr. Showtime. In the opening 2 minutes, a minute to go in this round. Able to cover up along the belt line, blocks that one. Oh, and he's got something for him himself, and it's a left hand. Parries that punch intended for the head. Which way did it go after a very exciting fight now in the books? Let's send it up to the ring to find out.
Your winner, the greatest.
Your winner, and he gets the nod by split decision.
He gets the nod, and I think he gets a gift.
Thanks for being with us, everybody. For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. Have yourself a great night.
Training to get like this. How you gonna tell me it's raining when it's only drizzling? So stop all the pump faking and the dribbling, the shoot the other kids trying to